Welcome back. In this video, we are going to see certain data mining task, and then later we are going to see this one by one. So the different data mining tasks are classification, clustering, association rule discovery, sequential pattern discovery, regression, and deviation detection. And in bracket, I have written certain words over here, such as predictive and descriptive. So prediction is one of the most important usage of the data mining task, where different algorithms are used for the prediction. Classification is used for the prediction purpose. Similarly, regression is used for the prediction purpose and deviation detection. They are going to predict whether something will happen or not. And such analysis can be done based on these techniques. Whereas association rule discovery, sequential pattern discovery, they are going to give us a descriptive output. We'll see how is that performed. Let's go for classification. So classification is basically you will be given a certain collection of the records, which will be also called as a training set. So for every set, for every database, you will have certain number of attributes or the columns or the dimensions present over here. So that attributes, out of these attributes, given a task will be defined a particular class or the class label. Say for example, you have been provided with a data set of a student having say name, ID, marks of the different subjects, and the last attribute is pointer. So the task given is classify a particular record into whether the pointer of a student is greater than 7.5 or it is less than 7.5. So here the attribute pointer, that column would be referred as a class, and since we'll have certain values based on that whether it is greater than 7.5 would be one of the class label and it is less than 7.5 would be another class label. So what we do in the classification is we will find a model for the class attribute as a function and the values of the other attributes. So that is you will be provided with the class attribute or the class label, and this class label would be function of the rest of the attributes which are there in the data set. The goal over here is whichever are the previously unseen records which are not present in the training set, out of that we are going to assign one of the class label as accurate as possible. Okay, so now once you have built a classifier which will classify whether or dependent on the marks whether the student would be placed into the class label, let's say pointer greater than 7.5 or to the class label pointer less than 7.5. So for that we will build a classifier, and whichever new sample is provided, the new observation is provided, we will classify that it is following which one of the class. Okay, so there are two things. One is training set which will be used to build this classifier, and there is a test set which is used to determine the accuracy of the model. That is, there would be pointer attribute present in the test set also, but the output of this pointer attribute in the test set and the output that you get after classification should match. If it is, then your classifier is accurate. And if it is not, there are different ways to improve the accuracy. Okay, so usually you have been given a data set. Let's say it is having some 1,000 attributes. That would be divided into the training sets. Let's say out of this 750 are used as the training sample, so the training set, and the remaining 250 would be used as the test set. So this, based on the training set, we are going to build the classifier, and the test set will be used to validate it. This is just a brief introduction about classification. So here is an example how it goes ahead. Okay, so here we have been provided a data set having the attributes TID, refund, marital status, taxable income, and cheat. Now suppose the task is given as provided the sample, we need to classify this into the class label cheat. Now for the possible values for the cheat attribute is yes or no. So we'll be having two class labels, cheat is equal to yes and cheat is equal to no. So this is our training set. Based on that, we are going to build a classifier. Okay, let's say that if the refund is yes and marital status is single and taxable income is this, then the cheat is no. So we need to just analyze the things. What we are saying that whatever is the marital status, okay, whether it is single or married, okay, and whatever is the taxable income and the refund can be either yes or no, your cheat class would be no. When it is yes, when the marital status is divorced, okay, then and only then, independent of the attribute refund and taxable income, the class label indicated is or predicted is yes. Okay, so that would be our one of the rule. The next rule for yes is what? When the refund is no and the marital status is single, now you can see there are these two attributes having the values. Taxable income is 85 and here we have 90k, and both are predicting value yes. So we'll say that when refund is equal to no and the marital status is equal to single as well as the taxable income is, let's say, greater than equal to 85, at that time cheat is equal to yes, this class label would be predicted. So we'll basically make a two rules that whenever we get refund no, marital status single and taxable income greater than 85k, cheat is equal to yes is the first rule. And the second rule is what? Whenever we get marital status as divorce, okay, at that time we are getting the class label as yes. And rest of the times the class label would be what? No. So let's say accordingly we are going to train the classifier and that rules would be there. Now this is the test set provided to us where we are giving, let's say we are looking for the first sample where refund is no, marital status is single and 75k is the taxable income. What would be the predicted class for it? So as we have made a rule only for marital status is divorced, okay, and when it is no, single and having the taxable income greater than equal to 85k, okay, only that time it would be yes, otherwise rest of the things would be no. So here we are going to get the cheat is equal to yes as the class label, and the rest of the attributes would be, I mean the rest of the samples, the class label predicted would be no. This is how classification works. And the applications of the classification are fraud detection. Okay. So depending on the prediction, you can predict the fraudulent cases. Okay. Here the approach is also provided. The next important task into the data mining is clustering. So provided a set of data points, each will have their own set of attributes, and we are going to use certain similarity measures so that we can find out the similarity among them. Okay, so we are going to classify the clusters such that the data points in the one cluster are more similar to one another and the data points in the separate clusters are less similar to one another. Okay, now what are the similarity measures? The similarity measures would be used, can be Euclidean distance if the attributes are continuous. Normally we'll call it for the numerical attributes, or it can be dependent on the problem also. So this is just an example where graphically we are trying to show this is how we can form a cluster. So this shows this is cluster 1, cluster 2 and cluster 3. What they are trying to say over here is in the cluster 1, the objects which are falling within the cluster, they are similar to each other. And the objects which are outside the cluster, so let's say this point in the cluster 1 and this point in the cluster 2, they are not similar to each other. That is why they have been placed in the different cluster. So intra-cluster distances are minimized, that is within the cluster, and inter-cluster distances are maximized, that is outside the cluster. What are the applications of clustering? One of the application is it is used for the document clustering, where our goal is to find out the groups of the documents which are similar to each other. Okay. Now, obviously, there would be a criteria required for this that may be based on the terms which are appearing within that particular document. Okay. So, how can we go ahead for this? We can identify the frequently occurring terms into each document. and we can form a similarity measure based on the frequencies of the different terms. I mean, how many times a particular word is being repeated. Based on that, we can have a cluster. Okay. So this is an example provided where suppose these are the different categories and these are the articles which are over present over there and which are correctly placed in the sense they are just trying to find out the similarity measure. So how many words are common in these documents? Okay, so maybe based on certain word filtering, and then we can have a cluster based on this. The next important task in data mining is association rule discovery. So what we are doing over here is, given the set of records or the transactions which may contain or which normally contain some number of the items from the given collection. So we'll basically have a collection of the items and these items would be used in the particular transactions. So we're going to produce certain rules based on this, and these rules will help us to predict the occurrence of an item, okay, based on the occurrence of the other item. Let's say for an example, we have been provided this data set, okay, which is having the 5 transactions, and the items which are present over here is bread, coke, milk, butter, diaper. That's it. So there are total 5 items, okay, and these 5 items are appearing in a different frequency in the different transaction. So what I can see over here is bread, coke and milk, okay, transaction 1. Second is butter and bread. Third is butter, coke, diaper, milk. Then we have butter, bread, diaper, milk, and then coke, diaper, milk. So we can discover certain rules based on this. Let's calculate the frequency of each item. Let's say bread. So bread is being occurred into transaction 1, 2, then it is into 3. So bread is appearing thrice. Okay. Then we are seeing that coke. Coke 1, 2 and 3. Coke is being appearing thrice again. Then milk 1, 2, 4, 3 and 4. So 4 times milk is occurring. Then butter 1, 2, 3 thrice again. And then at the end diaper 1, 2 and 3. So we have seen that milk is the most frequent item over here, which is occurring into the 4 transaction, and then rest of the data items, that is bread, coke, butter and diaper, their frequency is 3. Okay, now based on this, once we have milk, okay, what we can see that whenever the rule discovered is milk is determines the coke. So they are just trying to indicate that whenever a milk, there is a possibility to buy a milk, at that time coke will be also bought. Whenever is milk bought, there is a possibility to buy coke also, because every transaction shows us there is a association between milk and coke. See, in transaction 1 and in transaction 3, obviously there are certain algorithms based on which we can discover the rule, but just looking at this data set, we can see that wherever milk is appearing, coke is also appearing. So we have discovered a rule saying that milk determines coke. So this indicates that the customer who buys milk is more likely to buy coke. The customer who buys diaper and milk together is more likely to buy butter. Thoroughly we can see that we will feel that there is no connection between this diaper and butter and milk, and but it is based on the transactions. So we are trying to find out an association between the different data items over here. Now, how can we use this rules over there? So let's say, suppose I am a manager of a particular store and I have found this particular association saying that whenever milk is being bought, Coke is also likely to buy. So I can have certain shuffling into my shelves and I can keep this Coke bottles near to the milk bottles so that the purchase of the Coke would be increased, or else I can put certain offer into this so that this will be buy together. So this is how an analyst can work to make the decisions on the business and increase the sales. This is how association rule would work. The next important task into the data mining is regression. Regression is again used for the prediction. We have seen that classification is the main technique which is used for the prediction. Regression and classification, there is a slight difference. Classification, as we know that the class labels are known, it is one of the supervised technique. Okay, and we are going to predict one of the class label. I mean, whether it is whatever possible values are provided into the class label, your data or the sample data would be classified into one of the class label. Whereas regression is a prediction technique where your output is given into the numerical format. Okay, so for an example, I will say that if I am a manager of a particular store, and the sales of my particular store in this particular month is this, so I can predict at the end of third month, the fifth month, or the 12th month, what will be the sales amount that I will have, and so on. So here now the prediction is in the terms of numericals, and it is not based on any of the class label. So the regression predicts a value of a given continuous variable based on the values of the other variable. The approach is same as we had in the classification. So we are going to determine the class label based on the rest of the attributes, whereas here we are going to determine certain continuous valued variable based on the rest of the other attribute or the variable values, assuming a linear or non-linear model of the dependency. Okay, and examples of the applications of the regression are, this can be used for predicting the sales amount of a new product based on the advertising expenditure. This can be also used for predicting the wind velocities as a function of a temperature, humidity, air pressure, etc. This can be also used for the time series prediction of the stock market indices. So this is again one of the prediction technique where you will get a numerical prediction, and it's different from the classification. And the final data mining task that we have is deviation or the anomaly detection, where detect the significant deviation from the normal behavior. As we have seen, there are different fraud detection techniques. One of them is this deviation or the anomaly detection, where this can be used for credit card for fraud detection. This can be also used for the network intrusion detection. That's it for this video. Thank you.